Are you unknowingly poisoning yourself every time you reheat certain leftovers? Most people over 70 struggle with digestive issues and increased health risks. But recent research involving 8,000 seniors has revealed 5 common foods that become dangerously toxic when reheated in ways that can damage your brain, trigger inflammation, and even increase cancer risk. What you're about to learn could be the answer you've been searching for. These aren't just minor food safety concerns, they're silent health threats that accumulate in your body over years of seemingly innocent kitchen habits. Each food undergoes dangerous chemical changes during reheating that create compounds your aging body cannot safely process. The 5th food will shock you because it's considered a superfood when fresh, but becomes a neurotoxin when improperly reheated. What you discover today could prevent serious health complications that most seniors never see coming. I'm glad you're here because understanding food safety is something everyone deserves to understand. You're not just getting information about which foods to avoid reheating, you're also learning why your aging digestive system and immune function make these kitchen mistakes far more dangerous than they were in your younger years. And the insight I'll share at the end about the 5th food might be the most valuable thing you hear today. Most people accept that occasional digestive upset is just part of getting older. But you don't have to be most people. These 5 discoveries aren't just about avoiding stomach problems. They're about protecting your brain, preventing chronic inflammation, and reducing your risk of serious diseases that can steal your independence. Each food creates different toxic compounds when reheated from cancer, causing chemicals to neurotoxins that damage cognitive function over time. Watch until the end, because this knowledge could be the turning point you've been looking for in protecting your long-term health and vitality. Dangerous food. Number 1. Rice creates deadly bacteria when reheated. This next one will shock you because rice seems like the safest, most innocent food to reheat. What I'm about to share will change how you think about leftover rice forever. Meet Donna, a 76-year-old grandmother who loved making large batches of rice to use throughout the week in different meals. She would cook extra rice on Sunday, store it in the refrigerator, and reheat portions for fried rice soup or simple side dishes. Donna thought she was being efficient and healthy until she experienced severe food poisoning that landed her in the hospital. What her doctor discovered changed everything she thought she knew about rice safety. Here's what Donna discovered. Rice contains spores of Bacillus cereus, a dangerous bacterium that can survive cooking temperatures and multiply rapidly when rice is stored and reheated improperly, creating toxins that cause severe illness. Research from the Centers for Disease Control shows that Bacillus cereus poisoning affects thousands of people annually, with seniors experiencing more severe complications due to weakened immune systems. Scientists at the Food Safety Authority discovered that rice left at room temperature for even 2 hours can develop dangerous bacterial levels, and reheating cannot destroy the toxins these bacteria produce. How can you tell if your rice storage and reheating habits are creating health risks? Pay attention to rice that's been sitting out for more than 1 hour before refrigeration, or stored in the refrigerator for more than 3 days before reheating. You might notice that reheated rice sometimes has a slightly different smell or texture, which can indicate bacterial growth. You could also experience nausea, stomach cramps, or digestive upset within hours of eating reheated rice that seemed perfectly fine. These aren't just normal aging digestive issues, they're warning signs that dangerous bacteria have contaminated your food. The good news is that proper rice handling can completely eliminate these risks while still allowing you to enjoy this versatile grain. Start by cooling cooked rice quickly and storing it in the refrigerator within 1 hour of cooking, and gradually develop habits that prioritize food safety over convenience. Throughout your meal planning, consider cooking only the amount of rice you'll eat fresh or learning safe reheating techniques that minimize bacterial growth. The beautiful part is that fresh rice often tastes better and has better texture than reheated versions, and you can avoid the anxiety that comes with wondering whether leftovers are safe to eat. If you've ever experienced unexplained digestive upset after eating what seemed like harmless leftovers, you know how important proper food safety becomes as your body becomes more vulnerable to foodborne illness. But this is nothing compared to what comes next. Dangerous food number 2, leafy greens release cancer, causing nitrosamines. This one might surprise you because it reveals how healthy vegetables can become health hazards through improper reheating. Here's something that will transform your understanding of leftover salads and cooked greens. Consider Harold and Joan, both 74 years old and committed to eating plenty of vegetables for their health. Harold always eats his cooked kale collard greens and spinach fresh or cold from the refrigerator, while Joan prefers to reheat her vegetable dishes in the microwave for warm, comforting meals. The difference in their long-term health outcomes is significant. Harold maintains better cognitive function and lower inflammation markers, while Joan experiences more digestive issues and shows signs of increased oxidative stress that her doctor attributes partly to her food preparation habits. Here's the reality. Leafy greens naturally contain nitrates that convert to dangerous nitrosamines when reheated, especially in microwaves, creating compounds that are linked to increased cancer risk and neurological damage. Studies conducted at the World Health Organization found that nitrosamine exposure increases cancer risk by up to 40%, particularly for gastrointestinal and brain cancers. Researchers have found that microwave reheating of nitrate-rich vegetables accelerates the formation of these toxic compounds, making them far more dangerous than the same vegetables eaten fresh or cold. What are the warning signs that nitrate-rich vegetables are affecting your health through improper reheating? Watch for digestive discomfort that occurs specifically after eating reheated greens, but not fresh ones. You may experience headaches, fatigue, or cognitive fog that seems to coincide with meals containing reheated leafy vegetables. You could also notice that reheated greens taste more bitter or metallic than fresh ones, which can indicate chemical changes occurring in the food. Some people experience increased inflammation symptoms like joint pain or skin irritation after consuming reheated nitrate-rich foods. These signals indicate that toxic compounds are forming in your food and affecting your body's normal function. Here's the empowering truth: you can continue enjoying all the health benefits of leafy greens by making simple preparation and storage adjustments that prevent toxic compound formation. Begin with eating cooked greens fresh whenever possible, or storing them properly and eating them cold in salads or wraps. And over time, develop meal planning strategies that minimize the need for reheating nitrate-rich vegetables. During your cooking routine, consider preparing smaller portions of cooked greens that can be consumed immediately, or learning preservation techniques that maintain safety without compromising nutrition. What's wonderful is that many leafy greens are actually more nutritious and flavorful when eaten fresh or lightly cooked, and you'll discover that avoiding reheating often improves both taste and safety. Those of us who have made this adjustment recognize how much better we feel when we avoid the toxic compounds that form during improper reheating. However, what I'm about to share is even more powerful. Dangerous food number 3, fish develops dangerous histamine when reheated. This particular danger is crucial because it reveals how seafood can become a serious health threat through improper storage and reheating practices. What I'm about to share will help you understand why fish requires special handling to remain safe. Picture this: Carolyn, a 78-year-old widow who loves preparing salmon and other fish for their omega-3 benefits and brain-supporting nutrients. Carolyn often cooks extra fish to have convenient protein throughout the week, reheating portions for quick meals. What happened next revealed how fish undergoes dangerous chemical changes during storage and reheating that can create serious health emergencies. What Carolyn learned changed everything. Fish contains naturally occurring bacteria that produce histamine when the fish is improperly stored or reheated, creating a condition called scombroid poisoning that mimics severe allergic reactions and can be life-threatening for seniors. According to the Food and Drug Administration, approximately 15% of fish-related food poisoning cases involve histamine toxicity that develops during improper storage and reheating. Clinical studies show that histamine levels in fish can increase by over 1,000% when fish is stored above 40 degrees Fahrenheit or reheated multiple times, creating dangerous concentrations that overwhelm the body's ability to process this compound safely. The signs of histamine poisoning from improperly handled fish include facial flushing hives or skin redness that appears within minutes of eating reheated fish. You might notice rapid heartbeat dizziness or difficulty breathing that seems like an allergic reaction, but occurs even if you've never been allergic to fish before. Some people experience severe headaches, nausea, or abdominal cramping that develops quickly after consuming reheated seafood. You could also notice that reheated fish has a sharper, more pungent smell or metallic taste compared to fresh fish. These aren't just signs of fish going bad, they're indicators that dangerous histamine levels have developed that can cause serious medical emergencies. What's hopeful is that understanding proper fish handling allows you to continue enjoying the tremendous health benefits of seafood while avoiding all histamine-related risks. You can start today by eating cooked fish within 24 hours and storing it at consistently cold temperatures in the refrigerator, and progressively develop cooking habits that prioritize fresh fish consumption over reheating practices. Within your meal planning routine, consider buying smaller portions of fish that can be consumed immediately, or learning preservation techniques like proper freezing that maintain safety without creating histamine buildup. The rewarding aspect is that fresh fish always tastes better and provides superior nutrition compared to reheated versions, and you'll realize that prioritizing freshness enhances both safety and culinary enjoyment. Anyone who has experienced food poisoning from seafood understands how important proper handling becomes for maintaining both health and confidence in eating fish. If you're still watching this video and finding these insights valuable, please comment number 3 below to let me know you're here. If you haven't subscribed yet, I recommend you subscribe and turn on the bell so you don't miss any videos. Your support helps us continue creating good content to inform and inspire you. Yet this pales in comparison to what follows. Dangerous food number 4, dairy products create harmful bacterial toxins. This one is especially important because it shows how seemingly safe dairy-based dishes can become dangerous when reheated improperly. Most people trust dairy products completely, but aging makes these foods far more risky when handled incorrectly. Meet Eleanor and Frank, both 75 years old and enjoying retirement together. Eleanor always reheats leftover casseroles, cream soups, and cheese-based dishes without concern, while Frank prefers to eat dairy containing leftovers cold or at room temperature. The difference in their digestive health is striking. Eleanor frequently experiences stomach upset, bloating, and occasional severe food poisoning episodes, while Frank maintains better digestive comfort and fewer illness-related complications. Here's what Eleanor learned: dairy products develop dangerous bacterial toxins when stored improperly and reheated, particularly because the proteins and fats in dairy create ideal conditions for harmful bacteria like Staphylococcus aureus to multiply and produce heat-stable toxins. Research from the National Institute of Food Safety shows that dairy-based dishes are responsible for 32% of foodborne illness cases in adults over 70, primarily due to improper reheating practices. Scientists at the European Food Safety Authority discovered that Staphylococcus aureus toxins are not destroyed by reheating and can cause severe illness even when the food appears and smells normal. How do you know if dairy-containing foods are creating health risks through improper reheating? Look out for digestive symptoms that occur specifically after eating reheated cream soups, casseroles, or cheese-based dishes, but not fresh dairy products. You may experience rapid onset nausea, vomiting, or severe stomach cramps within 1 to 6 hours of consuming reheated dairy foods. You could also notice that reheated dairy dishes have a slightly different texture, becoming grainy, separated, or developing an unusual film on the surface. Some people experience recurring digestive issues that seem to coincide with eating certain leftover meals containing dairy ingredients. These aren't just lactose intolerant symptoms, They're signs that bacterial toxins have developed in improperly stored and reheated dairy products. The positive news is that understanding dairy safety allows you to continue enjoying cheese, cream, and milk-based dishes while avoiding all bacterial toxin risks. Make your first move by consuming dairy-containing dishes fresh whenever possible and storing leftovers at consistently cold temperatures for no more than 48 hours. And step-by-step develop cooking practices that minimize the risk of bacterial growth in dairy-rich foods. Within your normal meal preparation, consider making smaller portions of dairy-based dishes that can be consumed immediately, or learning techniques for safely incorporating dairy into meals without creating storage and reheating risks. The satisfying result is that fresh dairy dishes often have better flavor and texture than reheated versions, and you'll experience greater digestive comfort and confidence in your food safety practices. People who have experienced dairy-related food poisoning can relate to how important proper handling becomes for maintaining digestive health and overall well-being. But the following danger is the most crucial. Dangerous food, number 5. Oils and fats become carcinogenic when reheated. Now, for the most important danger. This one is particularly devastating because it reveals how cooking oils transform into cancer, causing compounds when reheated, yet most seniors do this daily without realizing the cumulative health risks. Most people focus on individual foods but ignore how the cooking medium itself becomes toxic through repeated heating. Let me tell you about Arthur, 79 years old and living independently while managing his own cooking. Arthur prided himself on being economical, reusing cooking oil multiple times and frequently reheating dishes cooked in oil to avoid waste. For years, Arthur's approach seemed practical and cost-effective until his annual physical revealed elevated inflammation markers and concerning changes in his liver function that his doctor connected to his cooking practices. Everything changed when Arthur learned how repeatedly heated oils create a cascade of toxic compounds that accumulate in the body over time. Here's what Arthur discovered: cooking oils and fats undergo oxidation and form dangerous compounds like aldehydes and acrolein when reheated repeatedly, creating potent carcinogens and neurotoxins that are particularly harmful to aging bodies with reduced detoxification capacity. Evidence from the International Agency for Research on Cancer proves that repeatedly heated oils contain compounds that increase cancer risk by up to 60%, particularly for lung, liver, and gastrointestinal cancers. Researchers have found that these toxic compounds also cross the blood-brain barrier, contributing to neurodegeneration and cognitive decline that is especially pronounced in older adults whose natural detoxification systems are already compromised. What should you watch for regarding toxic oil exposure from reheating practices? Be aware of foods cooked in oil that has been used multiple times, which often have a darker color, stronger smell, or different taste compared to foods cooked in fresh oil. Common experiences include digestive discomfort, headaches, or fatigue that occurs after eating foods prepared with reheated oils. You might notice that fried or sautéed foods don't taste as good as they used to, or develop an unpleasant aftertaste that lingers. Some people experience increased inflammation symptoms like joint pain, skin problems, or respiratory irritation that correlates with consuming foods prepared with repeatedly heated oils. These symptoms indicate that toxic oil compounds are accumulating in your system and affecting multiple organ systems simultaneously. Here's the empowering truth: understanding oil safety can dramatically reduce your exposure to carcinogenic compounds while actually improving the flavor and nutritional value of your cooked foods. Start by using fresh oil for each cooking session and avoiding reheating dishes that are high in oil or fat content, and gradually develop cooking methods that minimize oil exposure while maintaining delicious flavors. Throughout your cooking routine, prioritize techniques like steaming, baking, or grilling that require minimal oil, or learn to recognize when oils have been heated beyond safe limits. The beautiful part is that foods cooked with fresh oils taste better and provide superior nutrition without the toxic burden of oxidized fats. and you can feel confident that your cooking practices support rather than undermine your long-term health. If you've ever wondered why certain foods don't taste as good as they used to, or why you feel worse after eating fried foods, you understand how important oil quality becomes for both flavor and health. This alone could eliminate one of the most significant sources of toxic exposure in your daily diet, while improving how you feel after every meal. Final thoughts. Looking back, these 5 dangerous reheating practices reveal that food safety isn't just about avoiding spoilage. It's about protecting your body from toxic compounds that form through seemingly innocent kitchen habits. These discoveries aren't just about preventing occasional stomach upset. They're about reducing your long-term risk of cancer, neurological damage, and chronic inflammation that can steal your independence and vitality. The good news is that every single one of these risks is completely preventable through simple changes in how you store, prepare, and consume your food. You're not powerless against toxic food compounds. The choices you make about rice storage, vegetable reheating, fish, handling, dairy safety, and oil usage can dramatically reduce your exposure to dangerous chemicals while often improving the taste and nutritional value of your meals. If you've recognized risky habits in your own kitchen routine, know that awareness is the first step toward protection, and that small changes create enormous safety improvements. Tonight or today, implement one simple food safety practice we discussed, whether that's properly cooling and storing rice, eating greens, fresh consuming fish within 24 hours, handling dairy more carefully, or using fresh oil for cooking. Thank you for joining us today. We'd love to hear from you. Leave a comment below and share one thing you learned today and how you plan to use it in your life. Your thoughts are important to us, so don't hesitate to share them. Reading your comments gives us great motivation and encouragement. If you enjoyed this video and found it helpful, please like, subscribe, and share. Your support helps us continue creating good content to inform and inspire you. Thank you for watching, and we look forward to having you join us again in the next video.